Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Good point.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates?
Shut up.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's all about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Oh yeah, let me point out, because pretty much the class trial segments are all voice acted, I'm not really going to speak much unless it's me imparting my own thoughts through the trial. So yeah, that out of the way, let's proceed. No, I don't need the instructions, I know how this game works. Let's begin. Non-stop debate. Evidence of a struggle. Only one bullet this time. Well, this should be easy.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Nope! Wrong!
No, it's wrong! Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
No crap, it is a real trial. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Make your argument. Non-stop debate number 2, still one bullet. Gang, you're making this too easy.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
Nope, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife. But where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Are you done blaming me yet?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Clearly you need more proof than that.
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Yes, she's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. Non-stop debate number 3. Still one bullet. I'm on max difficulty still.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
Incorrect! You're wrong!
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to get some tea for the kitchen last night. All the knives were still there. Then when she finished her tea and went to wash her glass, one of the knives disappeared. So it disappeared while she was in the dining hall, and I wasn't there.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
What objection do you have now?
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Bull crap.
Idiot swimmer girl! Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife, so I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall. No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned rooms, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
You are freaking blind. Sakura is a woman.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Yeah, that's right, apologize.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here? Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm gonna say that's a little sus.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Oh, right, that's also a possibility.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
I mean, he has a point, Makoto. That could have happened.
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I do. I don't need to know about Hangman's Gambit. I understand how it works. Yeah, I know what it is. It's because the lint roller was used and there was no hair on the ground. I kind of like this minigame. I know everyone else hates it, but I kind of like it. Wow, that was quick.
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Good. Thank you for helping me, Kyoko.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The tampering of the doorknob, probably. Yeah, doorknob, definitely.
I got evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
Have you not been listening, Hiro?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Yes, understand that everyone else's logic makes zero sense. Alright, non-stop debate. One bullet still. Dang it, give me more information, game.
Because Sayaka had locked it.
Nope! It was not locked!
No, it's wrong! The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yep, true as true can be.
Oh, you're actually going to testify a bit, thank you.
But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? but to have such a cruddy door. That's not lucky at all.
You already made this frickin' joke, Monokuma. It stopped being funny.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
I mean, the nameplates were also switched, so they also could have mistaken that it was the girls' room, and the girls' rooms do have locks, so there was no reason for him to think that it wasn't locked.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Yes, Celeste, but the nameplates were switched.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Yeah, the important detail, but the killer didn't know. The room's being locked. Or the room's being switched, sorry.
I got it! Killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Thank you! Finally, everyone has gotten some sense knocked into them and they realize that it wasn't me. That's what I've been trying to tell you!
Okay, then who did do it?
Figure it out for yourself, scrubs.
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
What happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
You die. It's as simple as that. Figure it out or die.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
No, it really isn't.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Okay, then someone do something.
I do have one question.
Oh, you.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Yeah, convenience is not the name of the game here.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Nope.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
That's freaking stupid. She switched rooms because she was worried someone tried to break into her room. There's no way she talked to anyone.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Yes, and that someone is the weeb.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Yeah, it even says it right here. Don't open the door for anyone. And she wouldn't open, otherwise what's the point of switching rooms?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
What?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Oh look, evidence that I wasn't given. There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room. Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't.
But of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Yeah, we know that, Weeb. Shut up.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Another non-stop debate. Let's go. Still one bullet. Game, are you gonna make things hard soon?
Then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room...
Wrong!
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
Probably Sayaka. She's the only other person that knew about the switching.
I got it!
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
In other words, it was a setup!
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
Because it was a setup!
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
We still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Mondo is very right. We don't know who the culprit is. We have to figure that part out still. We at the very least know the culprit is the person she invited over, but we don't know who she invited over.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Maybe.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Because it's got gold on it from the sword. Yeah, you see there's a big gold on her broken wrist.
I got it! Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Yeah, I agree. It's about time to solve it. Alright, Hey, multiple bullets, the replica sword, the sword sheath, and the knife set.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. The sword-based sneak attack.
That's wrong!
No, that's wrong. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
That doesn't make sense. There's no need for them to use two weapons at the same time. And besides, Sayaka's hands don't have any gold on them, aside from her wrist being broken. So, there's not actually evidence for her holding the sword, is there?
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Thank you, Kyoko.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Yeah, her hands, aka her palms.
I got it! Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
But it was nighttime, and the bathroom water shuts off at nighttime, Toko, so it wouldn't work.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Why are you jumping to conclusions like that?
No, that's not it at all. According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh, my.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Insult, obviously.
Thank you, Leon.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
It would have to be Sayaka, because she didn't have the sword.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
Yep, it was a setup.
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Yep, the victim was attempting a murder. Who would have thunk? Oh right, me, because I've seen this trial about 50 times.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
No crap, Togami!
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
Yep, she wanted you dead. No wonder she got so close to you.
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
She has a point. Toko actually has a good point.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously I'm committed to find out who killed her, but what can I do? As far as clues go, there's nothing left. Except, the dying message. That seems like a pretty important clue we haven't talked about yet.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Nope, there is!
there still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
I said dying, not dining. Go get Denny's if you want to eat something, Leon.
11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Or, it's not a set of numbers, it's letters. I mean, there's a connecting line right there between the ones, so that's clearly an N. If you read it upside down, it's Leon. This is pretty bloody obvious. And I already knew about this because I've already seen the trial, but even then, it's too freaking obvious. I know a lot of people complain about the fact that this is a really obvious clue to figure out, and these guys haven't figured it out yet. May I remind you all that this takes place in Japan, that these kids are Japanese, that they would not really understand English. It's possible they would understand numbers, yes, but not English.
Hey, Chihiro, you're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just a look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Like you've done much this entire trial, Mondo.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn it, it's no use. I just don't know. Maybe look at it upside down.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Thank you, Kyoko. You are intelligent.
Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right on to who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
Whose name did she write? pretty freaking obvious. Hello, Leon.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What's up, Ultimate Baseball Star? You just got busted!
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
But they're written like letters, so it's definitely not random. Also, she was writing it with her back to the wall, so of course it would end up like that.
No, it's not random at all.
Thank you, Kyoko.
She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
It ain't a stretch though, because that's how it works.
I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
Yes, I can. She literally wrote your name.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
I mean, he does have a white button-up shirt as well, so it's possible.
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
Yeah, Hiro, Byakuya, Hifumi, technically there's more people with button-ups, so yeah, there's still a few possibilities.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
Maybe not, but we also have to look at how the incinerator was accessed in the first place.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt piece of the button-up shirt was still can get rid of. There's something we need to pay attention. How was disposed?
I got it!
How did they get the incinerator on?
If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
It is a distance away.
You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
I mean, that's possible, but that doesn't explain the broken crystal ball. So we also have to figure out how that got broken. And also, the gate wasn't opened or lowered ahead of time, so...
Interesting.
Oh, he's trying to pin it on Fumi because he has the button up and he was on trash duty. But nah, that's not the only way to access it, given that there's another piece of evidence against it. Alright, I think this might be the last non-stop debate. The crystal ball is the piece of evidence, last I checked.
The only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
No, that's wrong!
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but
But how would you use it?
You throw it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone through a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite sure it was off last time I was out here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy. Weeb!
Hifumi had the key. So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
It's finding out the truth, Leon. You should have been aware of this.
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
Yes.
The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Unless...
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
The killer is an ultimate. And they happen to be the ultimate baseball star. So...
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound trying to defend yourself? We already know you're the killer.
I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Now here's what happened.
Alright, so now I'm to do this entire thing right to left and piece together the events of what the heck happened with this bloody murder scene. Of which there are 10 pages. I need to fill in all the gaps. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, make my way all the way back. There's gonna be fake pieces as well, so I need to be careful not to screw up with the various pieces. Alright, so first, killer was invited. Sayaka waited for them to arrive, and then attacked them. I believe it was at this point that they bumped into the sword. Sayaka attacked them, they blocked the attack. Then they broke her wrist. From there, I guess he pulled out the sword to try to finish her. She ran away to the bathroom. It was locked. The killer had to bust in via unlocking the door. They got in, stabbed her. It was at this point Psycho wrote the dying message. And then she dead, son. From there, he started removing evidence, first rolling away all the lint. He went over to the incinerator, used the crystal ball, threw it at the gate, hit the switch, broke the thing, and then threw the shirt into the incinerator, but a piece burned off. Alright, we got all the pieces together. All these extra bits as well are like sections that already exist within the comics. So yeah, whole thing's been pieced together, let's go.
Here's exactly what happened. I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I'd put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily. And there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her. But of course, the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he'd left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot, and that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon?
Ladies and gentlemen, caught the killer.
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt. And that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object!
The evidence is so obvious, though.
I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories. You need evidence. Where's the evidence?
Didn't we just show you the evidence?
Without evidence, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit, and I refuse to acknowledge it.
This is taking so long. Just admit you're the killer already.
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
Oh right, we haven't used the toolkit yet.
You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
Okay, time to show the indisputable evidence that Leon's the killer. And luckily I know what it is because I am a genius. Let's get rid of this guy.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Shut up!
Games are
Where's
my
your
jam,
proof?
mate.
You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Shut up! Stupid!
Let's go!
Where's Where's your proof?
Here's my proof!
This should prove it.
Fuck it!
Then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Outstanding logic!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Yes, that's totally a valid argument. Except that it's not an argument.
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! Huh?
Yep, Rex. That's obvious evidence. You can't deny it now.
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Yes, we're done! Killer's been caught, we are done! I'd say that was like an hour long. Of course, I know these trials are like an hour long in this game. In the later games, it gets much, much worse. Near perfect score. Uh-oh, looks like you got it right on the money. The blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kuwata.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka?
But...
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
Son of a... What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So, that's why...
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was a complete chance I wound up like this.
I was just... unlucky. That's all. Hey! Come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? Everything becomes clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, then the truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here with no way out. They're probably waiting for me.
Why?
I can't afford to be stuck in here! The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams for friends. To have something like that happen to them, and Sayaka... I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it, even things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So when she said...
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. Boy, howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seems so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside she descended into pure madness. What did you say?
Phew!
I understand. Really, I do. Yep. You're in under despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they all collapse. Stop screwing with us! This is all your fault! Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it, everything. It's all your fault! I suddenly, in a frenzy, I lunged toward Akuma, but...
That's enough.
As angry as I was, Hiyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Damn it! Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good walloping. Just barely avoided punishment you did. Yeah, Makoto, maybe a good idea. Don't attack the bear. It's pretty obvious you gon' die if you fight the bear.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the past trial, The blackened Leon Kuwa will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution?
Yep, you gon' die!
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you not use your very own toolkit? After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room, and then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing. She brings up a good point. Leon could have stopped after breaking her wrist. He could have left after then. But then again, would you really want to leave your attempted murderer alive? Just so they could attempt to do it again? Or they could lie about the entire thing? That doesn't exactly seem reasonable, so it makes sense why he would do that. I mean, you wouldn't want someone to have a second chance of killing you. But you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unconscious intent to commit murder?
So,
That's not... Stop it. I've had enough of this. Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you? You killed your precious Sayaka, do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because that one, the one to blame is him! What? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation. The mastermind. Yeah, that's true, but you can't attack the bear.
Unbelievable.
Did you awake to your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up! Okay, well anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for. The punishment.
I'm begging you! Please, don't do this!
Hey!
No more
come
begging,
on
no more
now.
excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop! Please!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment!
For Leon Kuwata, the ultimate baseball star.
No, 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 no!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
No!
Alright, let's get to the best part of this game. Watching people die. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh yeah, might I add, this is the best execution in the entire series, or at least one of the best ones for being the first. Although V3 has probably my favorite execution and best one in the series. And off he goes. Oh look, the execution is baseball themed. How ironic. Oh look, it's a gun. And now it's loaded with baseballs. He's gonna get pitching machine to death. The 1,000 blows. Ow. 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 Oh, this is insane. I know in the original version blood was flying out, but you can't see it because how censored this game is. Oh, that is nasty. Oh, that is brutal. Oh my god. Oh, that is awful. They had to watch. They were forced to watch. Oh, he is dead. He is very dead. I shouldn't be laughing, but like, this is the first time I've seen this execution. And I'm so desensitized to deaths in games that I don't give a crap. Well, hey, if you don't like it...
Hey,
Seems like they're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know logic to something that's illogical doesn't make sense, doesn't it? How did you know I want to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well... I'm psychic.
What?
Huh? Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition. Huh. That's a pretty cool callback. I didn't know that was there. I only watched the trials, not like the ending. 3 students dead, because Junko's gone now too. To be continued.